have a more rounded heat,
Hello, world, and we're live.
allegedly.
Yep. Hey,
We've already
somebody's
got
here.
somebody. Bloody hell.
Cedar was waiting on us.
So, Ian, I have a question for you.
Nope.
Are you ready to bend over and grab your ankles for Uncle Wu Ping of the Koff clan? The CCP has instituted a new swab test.
Oh, I saw that. No.
Hey, think about it this way. You can get your prostate exam done at the same time.
Well, I'm guessing that President Biden has already stress tested that particular.
Hey,
No,
Josh.
that's what Kamala's for.
Four people? We're 45
Yeah.
seconds in. We got four people.
Yeah. The news is just getting stupider and stupider. Hey, Aaron. To start off with, we're back to czars again.
Well, that's an Obama thing.
So if we have czars, how do we have no new Fabergé eggs?
Yeah. Well,
And where do we get our jackbooted Cossacks? I'm still waiting for jackboots. We don't get any. What's the deal?
they're coming. They're coming. But probably the classic to me is Kerry as the climate czar. This is the same guy who flies around the world in a G4 worth conservatively $6 to $7 million. And when they were proposing a wind farm up in Narragansett, lobbied against it and man killed because he didn't want his views interrupted.
Um,
Well, isn't he special?
is Al Gore aware that he's not climate czar anymore?
Apparently not. He's made his hundreds of millions of dollars off of it.
Oh, there's that.
The other thing that was rather interesting, trapped in a car for 7 hours yesterday getting back here. And I'm getting old. I used to do 10, 12 hours, no problem. 7 hours of slaloming through ice turds
Yeah.
just made my whole day. But listening, because of lack of anything else on the radio, to the speech that Kerry gave, he said, oh, well, yeah, we've put all these people out of work, but they can get a new job in the green industries.
Oh, the pipeline folks?
Yeah.
Oh, they're starting. Oh,
They're already starting with learn to code.
well,
No, it's not learn to code. It's you can learn how to assemble solar panels.
different skill set.
Different skill set, requires retraining.
Different
What-
knowledge base.
What are they going to do with these people that are out of work today?
Oh, and let's, by the way, throw in that they added it's not a sacrifice.
Yeah, that's hey Vince, hey RK.
Apparently, we're not asking for sacrifices.
Yeah.
Apparently, they're not asking; they're just doing it.
Yeah. So far 22 as of yesterday, 22 EOs and 8 quote executive decisions, whatever the hell those are.
Who's writing these? Because it's not Biden.
No, it's not. I don't know who's writing it. I'm not sure he understands what he's signing. But the other thing that kind of tripped me off was, pipe fitters who have access to sheet steel and heavy tractors may become an issue. Hey, Jonna.
Dear Pipe Fitters Union, if
Yeah.
you don't like this, you shouldn't have allowed your union to put forward
To
money
vote for 'em.
Yeah.
supporting the Democrat Party. You morons brought this on yourselves.
Yeah, it's
Well-
making me giggle.
Yeah, it's even more interesting because now they're freezing/reviewing all drilling on federal land.
Yeah, and the Ute tribe fired one across the bow.
Yeah,
Well, the interesting part is, guess which state gets most of their income from federal land drilling?
Would it be the same state they went 54% for Biden?
New Mexico.
That's what
Yep.
I thought.
dear New Mexico, you earned this.
Yep.
And they're right now they're going, oh crap, because apparently they realize that, hey, oil companies go 5 miles to the border into Texas where there's no federal land.
Well, here's another one for you. Utah didn't vote in support of Biden, and their congressman has already announced his intention, Chris Stewart, to fight the federal blocks to access and drilling on federal land because it affects the Native American tribes in Utah just as much, and they're not amused either.
Well, the Ute
Well, yeah.
tribe issued a challenge on tribal sovereignty grounds.
Uh-huh.
Oh,
I am once more proud of my state, our state.
Yeah.
Texas filed the first lawsuit against the Biden administration and won a temporary injunction.
yep.
Well, and RK
Cool.
brings up a good point. They've had all these documents for years. You know, if you could go back and look at the date on them, I'm betting they run between 2008 and 2016.
Mm-hmm.
Wyoming has apparently also filed suit against them. And Josh says, take out Santa Fe, Albuquerque, Las Cruces, and they're fraud, and we're light purple at most. Yep.
Yeah.
The
The scary thing is I think Texas is heading that way.
yeah.
Well,
The other thing that's interesting is the statement that they will buy 300,000 electric vehicles to replace everything in government service.
That's not going to be good.
can somebody show me the last electric vehicle that could go on normal city streets, which had the towing capacity, torque, and ability of an F-350 Super Duty performing road work?
Well,
Well,
again,
they're thinking about their special vehicles in DC.
I'm going to the same statement I've made about electric vehicles from day one. Until you can fill an electric vehicle from empty to full in the same amount of times you can a gasoline vehicle,
Yeah.
they're not gonna be viable.
Yeah.
Oh, hell no.
When it takes a minimum of 45 minutes for a full charge, that's 45 minutes with people building up behind you at the pump.
Yep.
Josh says, I want to see a border patrol and BLM go patrol an electric car. Yeah, Josh, that would be interesting.
Again, until you can fully charge an electric vehicle in the same amount of time it takes to fuel a gasoline vehicle, they're not going to be viable, folks.
Nope.
Oh, yeah. Well, and Josh brings up another good point. He says they don't even want border patrol to patrol.
Yeah.
Yeah, but what I found yesterday, and since I had done some of this back in the day with the Navy, I went back and found the latest update on battery technologies,
Oh, goody.
and it was from 2018, and it's from the United States International Trade Commission Journal of International Commerce and Economics, December 2018. The title of the paper is "The Supply Chain for Electric Vehicle Batteries," written by David Coffin and Jeff Horowitz. It's worth taking a look at because it goes into the actual background and makeup of electric batteries. And guess who makes the most money off of electric batteries? It ain't us.
Tyrants in various tin pot dictatorships.
Hey, Sarah. Hey, Jason. No, it's China,
Yep.
Canada, Chile, South Korea, and Argentina. That's where the pieces and parts come from.
I wouldn't mind that list, except that you've got China and Argentina in there. And I have middle fingers for both of them.
Well, the other thing was, and this is a 2018 paper, the amount of the carbon that is used in it primarily comes from China. They are the biggest processor. China is also a processor for lithium.
Yeah.
We do not have any lithium deposits or carbon deposits in the United States.
Lovely.
Also, if they're going to build American, buy American, which is another one of their caveats yesterday, guess what you're going to be buying? Either a Tesla or a Ford. Because those are the only two that are actually assembled in the United States. Well, the third one is a Nissan Leaf.
Unless things have changed, and they may have. I remember reading some time ago back that battery technology is pretty much a dead end.
Yeah. Well, there are, let's see what I can say. There are some new technologies out there that deal with other methodologies.
Right, capacitors.
Well, not just capacitors. There are other things, but they tend to go boom.
Yeah. Well, I'm here to tell you, having seen the after action reports on some unscheduled high speed disassemblies of Teslas.
Yeah.
Because water got into the battery somehow. Boom is, yeah, pretty much.
Well, we had a project that I worked on that was made up of 210 D-cell size lithium batteries. And you have to test to destruction for the military. So there were some folks that, hey, Sarah number 2, that who had a lab to do that kind of testing for us. And they showed us video of what happened when this thing, shall we say, disassembled itself. And it was in a steel box with bulletproof glass and inside a containment, and it rocked the whole containment. So it made it real interesting to go test it for the Navy because we could not put it on a Navy ship to test it.
Rapid unscheduled disassembly event.
Yes.
Rude.
Yeah, it was rather rude.
Well, think about this then. A rude happening with E2s hammering on it.
Yeah.
AOC, occasional cortex. GOP members are white supremacy sympathizers. How's that whole unity thing coming along?
Yeah. Well, apparently the FBI came in and arrested some guy yesterday. I heard that on the news on the way back too, for his memes.
What?
On Twitter that he posted that are considered a threat to Biden.
Oh, for God's sake.
You know, people.
First Amendment, anyone? I
Yeah.
bet some lawyers are salivating over that.
Yeah.
You know, I want to get rich as an author writing books, not because I sued the FBI into oblivion. One sounds cool and the other doesn't.
I love Josh's comment. We want to drive around in a box of toxic crap powering our cars. Let's at least make it a nuke plant. Yes.
Okay.
Because the nuke plant's clean. It works. Oh, and that was the other thing they said the workers out of work could do is they could learn how to cap methane wells.
What?
Yeah.
Why would you cap a methane well?
Because it's polluting the environment.
It's a well. It's being used for power. It's not polluting anything.
Yeah. Well, they're saying natural gas is a polluter now, so they're going to do it with all natural gas.
No, Jono was
Oh,
telling
hell
us.
no. That's my favorite kind of damn stove.
Jono was telling
Not
us.
anymore.
Jono was telling us that Eugene, Oregon is apparently making it illegal to build new houses with gas.
Any kind of gas in them.
Okay, buy my stove out of state. Screw you guys.
Yeah. Sarah says, so they want to butt plug cows. Now, actually, what they want to do is tie a. And Josh says, go ahead and cuss.
If we want to go ahead and fix some of our toxicity problems on Earth, somebody sew AOC's mouth shut.
Well, that's the thing about cows. You asked about plugging the cows. They want everybody to go vegan and not raise cows.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, thank
they
you.
actually what they want to do, they don't want to put a butt plug in a cow. What they want to do is put a diaper on it that feeds off to a tank so they can capture the methane.
They're not used to cows, are they?
No, not in the slightest.
Because I'm here to tell you that's an amusing idea that that's a big no.
Yeah, it's definitely a big no. Oh, Sarah says Lawrence, Kansas is also wanting to switch from natural gas too.
Kansas?
Yeah.
Lawrence.
I believe there's a university there, which might have something to do with it.
Yes, there is. It's not it's not KU. It's in Manhattan.
One of the things about the COVID idiocy going on is I'm hoping, praying actually on my knees, begging that the whole COVID thing destroys the university system.
It's working its way there.
I am sick unto death of ivory tower leftist communist professors
Yes. But you repeat yourself.
proselytizing.
Louise says catalytic converters.
Oh, not puns. It's too early in the day for puns.
What, do they move you?
Bite me, John.
Sometimes you just have to take the bull by the horns.
Yeah. I want to see you do that once.
Yeah.
I want to see you do that one
Have
time.
you seen the?
Not in hell. I know better.
Have you seen the one cow in that herd on Old Iowa Park coming in?
Yes.
I'm not sure what that is. I thought it was a longhorn. It ain't a longhorn. I'm not
Oh.
sure what the hell that thing is, but my God.
I'm wondering if it's another one of those crosses.
Well, it's got the body of a Brahma.
Yeah.
And I don't know what the horns are bigger and longer than a longhorn's.
Yeah, but it doesn't have the hump.
No, that's
My favorite move in high school wrestling was a cow catcher. Great for when you're playing defensive. It allows you to flip your opponent right onto their back. Works very neatly. I had enough time struggling to do that with a 145-pound, 152-pound human being. Having looked at the size of cattle up close and personal, because my wife decided she just wanted to take pictures of cattle on the side of the road, and I insisted she stay on our side of the fence. I am very strongly against doing anything that personally involves cattle aside from grilling it, smoking it. Nope, I'm good beyond that.
when I was
Sarah says they call it East Berkeley up there.
Oh yeah, it is KU up in Lawrence.
Yeah.
when I was day working for the ranches in the Panhandle, on a dare, might have been alcohol involved, might not. On a dare, I bulldogged a steer one time. I got it done. I will not ever do that again.
I didn't even have to bulldog the damn thing. I knew not to do that.
See,
I got the cow over, and my horse circled back and was looking down at me, going, "You stupid."
yeah.
Duh.
Well, I do have to tell a funny story about cattle and people that have never been around them. 1969, I went to Louisiana Tech, first year in college. And one of my roommates in the dorm was a black kid from Harlem
Okay.
who had never seen a cow other than on TV.
Is cow.
So
Yes, but the odds of seeing one walking down the street in Harlem
I know.
he
not
pestered
wearing a
us.
muumuu is pretty slim.
We said, okay, we'll take you over, show you a cow, because at the time, Louisiana Tech had a pretty good ag program, in addition to their nuclear engineering program, which is what he was in. So Friday afternoon, we took him over, showed him the pen full of cows. And there was a bull in there that was not having anything to do with any of us.
Not having a good day.
He was not having a good day. Apparently, he was not getting to mount the proper number of cattle
Oh,
for the day.
Oh,
And Tim said, well, I want to go pet them. We're going, Tim, no. He said, well, they look so calm and peaceful. And Tim, no. And he walked over to, now this is a metal corral, farm corral.
Fencing panels.
Yeah. Walked over and put his hand on it. And that bull snorted, turned around and charged that fence. And we both grabbed him and yanked him back.
Moved that fence about 3
Matt-
feet, didn't it?
But that bull hit that fence. His eyes got about that big. He said, I don't think he likes me.
what was your first realization of this, Tim?
Hadn't noticed.
Damn.
Well, payback was he took me, I got invited up to see his family in Harlem. This is 1969. I'm a white kid in Harlem.
Dumbest white boy in the Northeast.
You're the only white person in Harlem that's not a cop or a military recruiter.
His parents were both educators. Or I think no, I take it back. His daddy was a doctor. His mother was an educator. So, they invited me into their home. No problems. He takes me down to a couple places. And I walked into this one place, and I'll never forget it was dead silent. And Tim looked around and went, he's with me. Shut up, people. All the conversation started back up. Of course, now, what I hadn't mentioned was Tim was about 6'3" and about 230, 240.
I'm just
Not a small lad back in the
I'm
day.
just imagining the hell's that white boy doing in here?
Yeah,
I have seen that once.
and he went on to get a PhD in nuclear physics, and he is fairly well to do now. As I jokingly told him a few years ago, I said, "Your career went much further than mine did."
I saw that happen once at a barbecue in Oak Cliff here in Dallas.
Uh-huh.
The only white people in there were myself and my fellow Mormon missionary, Elder Lobb from Orange County, California. The congregation member we were with, nice fella, was significantly darker than us. And he did about the same, looked around, said, "Bear with me." Carried on. It was great barbecue, but we didn't stick around for dessert or nothing. Nope, we had our barbecue. We got out.
My buddy,
Josh, no, I never got a master's degree, and I was not an ag and animal science because at that point I already knew all I wanted to know about cattle. Thank you very much.
no kidding. When I first moved back this area, my buddy, I call him Reno on my blog. Reno and I bounced at Tommy's House of Music.
Yeah.
Tommy's House of Music was in the wrong part of Ichipaw and was a hip hop bar that competing local gangs hung out in.
Yeah.
And Matt is good Scandinavian stock.
Mm.
And
Think troll.
yeah, he and I were the only white faces in that place, and we were the bouncers.
Oh, Illinois, Champaign. Yeah, that school that was, if I remember right, Josh, that was related to the Chicago Stockyards. Yeah, is where that school ended up with their program. So anyway,
No, we were two white boys, redhead to blonde, in a non-fire marshal approved number of people what darker than us.
hell, how many bars have we been in over the years in various parts of the world that the fire marshal ignored?
Yup.
You don't drink, you don't count.
En contraire, in Okinawa, I was the only person sober enough to call for a honcho.
Yeah, he was the designated.
I
guy.
walked along with them and made sure they got back to barracks instead of ending up, someplace where the lady boys were real happy for fresh meat.
Yes.
I have done that so many times, it's not even funny.
We tried
Bitty
to get
boys.
back in there because Tommy's got sold
Yeah.
a couple of times, and there's a ticket booth, and there are any number of knives and guns on top of that ticket booth
Yeah.
because we would shake somebody down. Oh, we know him, pat him down, take his weapons and throw them on top of the ticket booth. And if I need to get back in there.
Oh, speaking of which, while we were up north, we were talking about Amarillo, and Gene said, "Well, we could always buy the Crystal Pistol for you."
No.
That should be a hazmat super fun
that's a
site.
super fun site. I mean, ew.
That's a bio site. Walter Reed should be out there getting samples.
Well, I talk about diseases science doesn't have a name for yet.
Yeah.
The Crystal Pistol is a little more specialized. It is STDs science doesn't have a name for yet.
Yeah, that was the start of you can't cure that with a shot.
Yeah.
I remember watching an
That was
episode
bleach.
of, I think it was SNL, where they were doing James Bond going in for his physical. And they said, "Mr. Bond, we've come back with the analysis of what your infection is. Oh, well, we've got about 17 different STDs identified. 3 we don't know about." Phone rings, the nurse picks it up. And Bond 1 has just escaped containment.
Aaron asked a question, says, "Do y'all have anything about the Redditor upset on Wall Street?"
Yes.
So I
I'm laughing.
giggled like a school. Well, at the gym I go to. I was at the gym yesterday. Cussing because I sprained a hip flexor last week. So my doctor said, sure, you can exercise. And apparently talked to my trainer because I'm doing all upper body for next month, which really sucks. Anyway,
Oh.
one of the other trainers and his client were swearing because they had a chance to buy GameStop stock
Yeah.
and didn't.
Well, it's not
Well-
entirely surprising that they didn't. GameStop has been struggling for years. And now finding out that this Melvin Capital has been pushing what they have and doing it consistently for the last decade or so, it really makes you start to wonder if they weren't intentionally pushing mechanisms inside GameStop to accelerate the company's decline.
Well,
Surprised me.
what they've done, and Josh is exactly right with his comment, the market manipulators have been having their own stuff thrown back at them
Yep.
over junk stocks. Because, and what happened is they made the mistake of getting on the wrong side of the gamers.
Yeah, because
So
gamers,
Reddit gamers who really didn't give a rat's ass one way or the other, just wanted to screw with people, bought in.
Oh yeah.
And
Well,
one guy,
they got together and recruited
Yeah.
1,000 of their friends.
yeah, one guy got $700,000 for 50,000 shares of stock. It's now worth $22 million.
Well, not only that, but there's what they call whales.
Yeah.
And whales are stock investors that make a splash.
Yeah.
The whales, apparently Elon Musk is one of them, who's doing it just for the lulz,
Yeah,
is buying GameStop.
Yeah.
And there's a couple others that just want to watch the world burn.
Yeah.
These hedge funds and short selling is apparently it is a loophole that the folks what in the know have been exploiting for decades, if not centuries.
Yep.
And how dare the peons use our exploits against
Yeah.
us?
well, it gets better. Apparently, Mark Cuban's 11-year-old son decided that he wanted to play the market, and he got in just in time to get a chunk out of this whole GameStop
well,
mess.
now it's blowing up beyond GameStop.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
And what they're doing is they're using the hedge fund managers' own software against them.
hmm
So what they're doing is they're going in and buying up these junk stocks that all hedge fund managers have shorted,
good.
making them cover it.
Yes.
Yes,
And they are losing money hand over
Well,
fist.
they're having to go to the hedge funds to get bailed out.
well,
And I like it because these guys were playing GameStop consistently with the aim of crashing the company.
Oh, yeah.
because it would get them
and
ahead.
making a mint.
And now GameStop has a chance.
Well, not only that, but I want to see these hedge funds that are screwing people over die.
Yeah.
And apparently, there's at least one that's taken a bailout from government over this whole GameStop thing, and a day later is looking at requiring another bailout.
Yeah,
Well, they're estimating that the short sellers' losses, from what I saw this morning, are something in the neighborhood of $100 million.
Good.
Now
Um,
that's pennies to these hedge fund managers because they're billion-dollar hedge funds. But the thing is, it's now been made public.
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing.
The
of it
CEO
is-
of GameStop, as of yesterday, has seen his 3.4% stake in the company jump to a value of about $350 million. The chief beneficiary is the co-founder of Chewy, a guy named Ryan Cohen, who has a 13% stake.
Oh, Josh corrected me, not 100 million, 100 billion in
Yes.
losses.
100 billion.
You can't. That's somebody on Reddit's posted that he can't wait for the announcement that GameStop is too big to fail.
Yeah.
Well, now.
Yeah, they basically offended 4chan. Yeah, that's what it comes down
Well, there's a meme that said, "We can be retarded longer than they can manipulate."
to. This is true. I mean, 4chan, if you've never,
4chan, Reddit, they're all the same thing. Right?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure there used to be, I think, a big war between 4chan and Reddit.
Yeah.
I think they're the same people.
well, there was Anonymous, there was 4chan, there was Reddit.
Now there's also 8chan.
That is nothing compared to what's on the dark web.
Oh yeah, we know this, but
Yeah.
That's the dark web public.
Yeah.
Basically,
Yeah, you get on the dark web.
Oh.
no, thank you.
there's
No, thank you.
They make 4chan
Look,
oh yeah,
look
oh yeah,
tame. Yeah.
oh yeah.
You know, and a lot of people don't realize there are actually 3 internets.
There's internet you can find through typing in names. The ones controlled by what's it? ICANN.
Yeah, ICANN.
There's that's controlled by ICANN. There's one that it's all numbers, which is the dark web. What's the third?
Well, there are, let me qualify this. There is the public internet, which is what everybody uses. There is a second internet, which is basically military.
Oh, DARPANET.
DARPANET, ARPANET, call different things now. There's a third internet that's a research internet.
No.
Underneath all of those is another internet that runs black, and it's all numbers. So unless you know
The exact number of
the
place you're
exact
going. And there's
IP
no
address,
There's no search for on that.
and
one.
there's
Yeah,
no search on that, unless you know the exact IP address,
you can't get there.
you can't get there. And yeah, Reddit is where the chans went when they wanted to look like they were going clean. Yeah, Josh,
For
that's
certain values
yeah.
of clean.
clean is, yeah, for values. If you're old enough to remember CompuServe was all numeric.
Mhm.
And basically the dark web is the same way.
Yeah.
It's all numeric.
I'm not old enough to remember CompuServe. Sorry.
Yeah. And Biden has apparently signed sweeping healthcare executive order.
Apparently,
boy.
apparently, from what I'm hearing, these healthcare executive orders are going to be the most far left of anything he signed to date.
Well, how much further left can they friggin' go?
Nationalized healthcare and medicine, like
They're taking it as a challenge, Jim. Please.
Yeah, Josh, you're probably older than Jonathan.
is he?
Oh, Josh remembers CompuServe.
I remember CompuServe.
Well, they are reopening Obamacare enrollment February 15th to May 15th amid this whole mess.
Yeah. Yeah, Sarah, yeah, it was nice when you had good benefits.
And
You
they're
know.
expanding healthcare access.
You
Ooh,
can
boy.
you can keep your doctor if you like him.
Oh yeah, you keep your plan if you like it.
You can keep your country if you like it. Cocksuckers.
Actually, this brings up an odd thought. Shut up, Josh. Josh says I'm closer to 40 than 30. Asshole.
I'm midway between 40 and 60, so bite me.
It's
Shut
good
up.
to be on the light side of 30.
I'm closer to 60 than I am 40.
The other
So
thing,
you're
they're talking about the impeachment, which leads into the kind of the next thing. Shut up, Josh. Next thing I was thinking about, which just hit me. If they want to go back and start impeaching presidents, why don't we
please open that can of worms.
Yeah.
Please.
Why don't we go back and impeach Obama? Let's go back and impeach.
I can find a crap ton of stuff to
FDR for throwing American citizens into concentration camps. I'm down with it.
Well, you could do FDR. The way California's going, they'll want to do Lincoln and Washington. They're stripping Lincoln and Washington names out of every school in California.
Of course they are.
The father of our nation is not fit to be on a public school in California.
Because he was a slave owner.
I would like that to sink in.
Because he owned slaves. Remember, that's why. He's white and he owns slaves.
Revisionist history is alive and well.
The fact that the first person to own slaves in America was a black man and just totally escapes the modern left.
Oh, yeah.
I am getting to the point where
Yes, Sarah, they're taking Lincoln off of every school in California and Washington. Probably Jefferson will be next.
I am to the point, seriously, I won't do it, but I'm at the point where if I see a car with California plates and a Biden bumper sticker, I was urged to go grab the driver taking the state line and pitch him into New Mexico.
Yeah.
Until him he comes back, I'm going to beat the stupid out of him.
Yeah, Josh, I don't know. They could, well, if they knew who Benjamin Franklin was, they'd probably try to impeach him too.
Was he ever actually in government?
No.
You can't impeach anybody.
Well, he was an emissary, so technically, yes, he was in government.
I've got a question.
I've got a lot of questions, but
The Constitution says to the Chief Justice of the Supreme Court must oversee impeachment of presidents. It doesn't say anything about past presidents, future presidents, or current presidents. It just says the Chief Justice of the Supreme Court must oversee the impeachment of presidents. If he's not doing it, can you impeach the president?
that's a good question.
Because John Roberts has refused to sit over the impeachment of
Yeah.
Trump. So we've got this person, a hack senator on the Democrat side, going to swears,
Yeah.
he swears that it's going to be a fair and impartial, my fuzzy, anyway.
Yeah.
Going to be a fair and impartial trial, despite the fact he's been screaming for impeachment and what an evil person Trump is from day one. But he's going to be fair and impartial on that.
Yeah.
However,
I like Jason's comment. Why stop at POTUS? We could impeach Sec State for causing the deaths of the servicemen in Benghazi. Yeah.
you actually can, and you don't require a Chief Justice to do that.
Nope.
RK brings up an interesting point. Dumping Jackson in favor of Sojourner on money is hilarious. The founder of the Democratic Party being dumped for a woman who despised everything about the Democrats.
I'm good with that.
Now, what I would love to see is the picture. I saw that meme last night of her with the pistol. in her
Harriet
hand.
Tubman?
Yeah.
Harriet Tubman? Yeah.
Oh, I would love to see that going.
I've got one issue with that. She's carrying a single action army at a time
Yeah, when it didn't
when a
exist.
single action army did not exist while she was
Yeah.
doing it, which annoys me, but I can get around it.
Fuzzy pink gorilla butt AM. That's from Josh.
Yes, matter of fact.
Speaking of dollars, there's one being advertised. They call it the Del Monte dollar. That somehow or the other, in the printing process, somebody was eating a banana at work,
Okay.
and the sticker off the banana
Oh, for God's sake.
got on the money in the printing process. So it actually has part of the serial number overprinted over the Del Monte sticker.
Really?
And apparently that's going up for sale at some large amount of dollars.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Yeah, something, bringing up a point about guns, something else that occurred to me. You know, there's a lot of things out there for sale or to come get. I got a text this morning. Do you know what this is? And it was a picture of a practice bomb, which is blue, and a yellow cylinder with fins on it. And it was a depth bomb. And
It wasn't a baby blue, definitely.
No, it was yellow, and it was correctly numbered for a live weapon. So I got a hold of the individual and I said, that's a real World War II depth bomb. And,
Why does somebody have that?
well, he contacted me a couple hours later and said, oh, it only weighs about 9 pounds. It's like, oh, thank you, Lord. Because it was 350 pounds of TNT.
It is a, quote,
So it's a home wrecker.
Mark 41 Mod 1 depth charge.
It's a depth charge dropped from airplanes in World War II. Thankfully, somebody had at least taken and cleaned it out.
Demilled it.
Yeah.
We hope.
But it didn't have any of the typical D-Mill signature. So- And apparently this guy that he was getting it from found it, and said, oh, if you want it, come get it. Which Makes me wonder.
It's
Yeah.
a military town. Why do you wonder?
Well, I remember the 2.2 pounds of Tetrol in a PDC that was about that long that we used to drop on submarines. And
Knock,
sometimes
knock.
we would tie 2 or 3 of them together to get their attention.
Tag, you're it.
Yeah.
So what does a kilo worth of Tetrol do to a submarine? Just get its attention?
Yeah. Well, it gets their attention real well when you happen to get lucky enough to drop it in their conning tower, and the submarine gets down to depth, and it goes off. All 3 of them go off at the same time inside the conning tower, apparently laying on top of the main hatch.
Warp the hatch a bit.
And the submarine did an emergency service and was less than complimentary to the aircrew. And it was not my squadron and not my crew.
Here's the hint, Mr. Submarine. Next time, don't get caught. It's kind of like all these Green Bay fans whining and pissing and moaning about how ref ball screwed us. Well, if you don't like the ref ball, next time make sure your score's ahead and you don't have to worry about ref ball, bitch.
Yeah. Well, the issue was this submarine was notorious for saying, "Oh, it wasn't a good attack. It wasn't close enough."
Guess what? Your warped hatch says otherwise.
Yeah.
Because, correct me if I'm wrong, I'm not a sailor type. You bust open the main hatch on a submarine, it's going to have a real short, bad day, ain't it?
Well, it didn't bust it open. It sprung it. So it was leaking.
But if you'd hit that with the proper warhead,
Oh, yeah.
Gives new meaning to the term glub glub on the sub.
Yeah. This was the same submarine had a screen door on it. Because they could. Offered me a 92 replica and had 357. Yeah, Josh, good luck with that.
What?
Josh wants a 92 replica. and
Beretta
357.
92?
Yeah.
They're out there.
Yeah.
The Beretta 96 40s have they're aftermarket barrels for the 96 40 Smith & Wessons and 357 SIG. I wouldn't do it, but
No.
I had an experiment a long time ago when the 40 first came out. I picked up a 40 Browning high power. I love high powers. Picked up
Oh,
a
he
40
wants a Winchester 1892 replica.
Yeah, the Browning's low wall.
Yeah.
No, wait. He wants an 18. Okay.
The rifle.
Yeah, they've got those in 357.
Yeah, they're out there.
Huh. Speaking of guns, while we're at it, Aero Precision just announced they're moving out of Tacoma.
Oh, yeah.
Apparently, Seattle just announced, the folks in Washington just announced a new gun and ammo tax. So Aero Precision said, "Screw you, we're gone."
Come to Texas. We love you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can get the 1892 replicas in 357.
Yeah. The Italian Uberti.
Yeah,
Cimarron Arms. Cimarron Arms and Uberti make,
Uberti.
but they have those funky bridge safeties. I'm not a big fan of them. You
Yeah.
can find 1892s. I like the Marl 1894s better, but that's just me. They made a run of 357 and another one. They're there for a while. I think 70s.
Yeah.
Lever guns, 92s, 94s, and the 1894s, Winchesters and Marlins came in 357, 41 Magnum, and 44 Magnum. I would give various people's body parts for an Marlin 1894 and 41 Magnum.
Yeah. Well, I know a buddy of mine has a 44 version of that
Mhm.
that is fully suppressed.
Yeah.
Fully suppressed lever gun.
Yeah.
Yeah, Josh, they did make them in 454 Casull and 500
Yep.
Smith. And yes, that's stupid.
Why?
That's way too much oomph
Yeah.
for the 1892 is 1892 technology.
Yeah.
Which is really good tech for the time. This is
Mhm.
not 1892. It's not meant for high pressure rounds. 44 Magnum is safe. An 1892 that's made for 44 Magnum is safe, but it doesn't have the locking, the bolt locking to the barrel is not what we see. It locks up at the back, at
Yeah.
the rear, with 2 tabs that slide into, rather than locking the bolt face, it locks to the breech. not breech, locks to the frame instead
Yeah.
of bolt face.
which
And,
is not good with a high pressure.
Yeah, when things get stupid, it's a whole bunch of nastiness introducing itself up under your mustache.
That would be.
Yeah, yeah. As RK said, they're moving to Lakewood, so they're not moving out of
No,
Tacoma, out of Washington State.
they're just
Damn
moving out where they can't be taxed anymore.
Yeah. And Cedar says, I need a new job anyway. Yeah, Cedar, you do have a rather odd set of skills.
Honey, are you still looking for something in forensics?
I might have a lead on that.
Yeah, Jason, the problem with them is, again, you're looking at lockup. And even on a 94, you've still got that problem. I mean, you know, a Winchester, I've got a pre-62 94 that I got when I was 12 years old. And it's 30-30.
Yeah.
And I don't remember what the pressure comparison between the 30-30 and 454 was.
It's
somewhere close.
The pressure curve is what because the 33 is a low smooth curve.
Yeah, she is looking for something in forensics.
Let me check. I think the Abilene DPS Abilene Crime Lab is looking for a tech.
Yeah. Oh, that would be.
I'll see what I can do.
Yeah.
The pressure curve.
Yeah,
is,
because the smoother for a rifle than it is for a pistol.
Now in 454, it's a sharp spike.
Yeah.
And that hammer spike is, opposed to a long, slow curve.
Yeah.
Is stressful on lockup systems.
Yeah, that's always the problem, and that's where if you have to get into the books, and most people don't, to figure out the SAMI specs, the pressures, and all those pieces and parts, as opposed to the way it was designed. Because if you think about it, most of those designs go back to the black powder days.
Mm-hmm.
Which is nowhere near as powerful as the stuff we have now, even if it is labeled black powder.
The Browning BLR and the old Seiko Fenwolf lever actions have a rotating lock, interrupted screw, basically locking.
Yeah.
Where the head of the bolt face locks into the rear of the barrel with much like an AR-15 with a rotating with lugs. That's a good solid system, and I've seen some really high pressure rounds in a BLR that are just perfectly fine. The rear bolt lockup with two tabs that slide into slots is a good system for pistol rounds and medium low pressure rifle rounds.
Yeah.
I'm not comfortable with a high pressure like the 454, a sudden high spike pressure round in that kind of lockup. It doesn't. I'm not.
Josh says somebody ran the math, and bolt face takes roughly the equivalent between a 44 mag and 30-30. Yeah, the question in my mind would be, did they run it with a spike? Did they run it with the proper curves? The bolt thrust is more important than chamber pressure.
Yeah.
In a rear lock action, no question. But the issue is
that high spike gives you a high bolt thrust.
What's that impact on that bolt thrust?
And it's the 454 Cimarrons haven't been around long enough. It's not, in a 92 action, it's not going to be the first round or the 15th or maybe even the 200th.
Yeah.
It's going to be the 1000th round or on down that's going to shear those.
Yeah. Well, and most people don't know how to tear down a lever action to actually look at the bolt.
And not only that, but remembering that a 9mm, which is not a high pressure round, was shearing locking lugs on the early model military 92s.
Yeah.
Remember, you're not a SEAL if you haven't eaten Italian steel.
Yeah. And they were also cracking the slide.
Yeah. That's not a 454.
No, it's not.
Josh,
How
the
is it
spike.
doing that? Bad quality control, or just the round was more powerful than?
No, it was quality control because
quality control. Well, that's when the 92 that the Brez sold was the 92F.
Yeah.
And then a whole bunch of people started eating the slide, and they upgraded to 92FS that added something to.
Yeah.
I forget what it was.
Well, what they did was they opened up the ejection port on the 92,
Mhm.
which caused it to start cracking slide rails at around 2,000 rounds.
Can't.
You had these military units that weren't cavalry or infantry that were actually putting high round counts through their 92s.
Yeah.
A 92F for most military, where you fire 50 rounds every 2 years, that's fine.
Yeah.
Those guys were firing 5,000 rounds in a month because they were training. Yeah.
Yeah.
The saying was, you're not a SEAL until you've eaten Italian steel.
Yeah. Josh, what it comes down to is where that spike hits.
Mhm.
And in a pistol round, the spike is immediate. You don't have a ramp up, like a smooth
Because
ramp
you've
up.
got to get as much
You've
pressure.
got something, that initial spike looks like literally a spike.
Yeah, because you've got to get all the pressure in that 4-inch barrel length rather than the pressure in a 20-inch barrel.
That makes a whole lot of sense.
Because pressure that happens once the bullets exited the barrel is no good.
Yeah. He says the guy that ran the numbers emphasized that using a slow powder, which defeats the purpose of a 454. Yeah, RK, I've got old guns that I actually still shoot. The oldest one I still shoot, well, if I ever get it back.
Do you have any safe coins, Jim?
No, is a 73 Winchester.
Which
And
was
it
probably
is-
actually built by John Moses Browning himself.
It was built in 1876. So it's a low serial number 73 in 4440. And we were still shooting it up until a couple of years ago. And then I've got a 1906 45 that single action I shoot. I don't shoot the 1892 4440 pistol because it's been shot a lot. But yeah, 1950s Browning, hey, it's as good as anything. That's the thing people tend to forget. What is it, next year or the year after, that the AR becomes a CNR capable?
Yes.
CNR? Oh, collection and
Curio and relic, because it's over 50 years old.
Wee!
The boys down at Ranger Point Precision, I like those guys. They took a Marlin 336,
Yeah,
and rechambered to 450 Bushmaster, I think. 450 something Bushmaster, I think.
That 458 SoCal.
No, it was a straight wall cartridge, 450 Bushmaster, I think. And I'm impressed. That's some damn fine work. You couldn't get me to fire that thing on a dare.
Yeah.
336 was built around the 30-30 and the 35 Remington, the 32 Winchester.
Yes, Josh, I've shot that 4440 before. Shot it when I was a kid, shot it up through high school. So, but it's been, 50 years since I shot it. 40 years since I shot it. Probably 40 years.
I'm going to resist the urge to say anything.
Shut up.
Anyway, the Marlin 336.
Damn, I don't turn 40 for another 6 years.
Ouch. The Marlin 336 was designed around the 30-30, 32 Winchester, and 35 Remington.
Yeah.
And it will shoot those until 3 days after the end of the war.
Yeah.
I'm not going to run a high pressure cartridge in.
No.
I don't care. No.
No. And Josh, just for your information, the 1906 45, I actually shoot that one with the cowboy action rounds, just to make sure. RK says brought a 43 Luger back from Germany, sold it, just wasn't comfortable. Smartest thing you could have done, because Lugers are a pain in the ass.
But you should have hung on to it until the collector market boomed and then sold.
Well, probably did.
Hope so.
But those things are just, I
No,
mean,
that toggle action is
Ugh.
it's swoopy and unique and a pain in the butt.
I've never handled a Luger, so I wouldn't
if
know.
it
Yeah.
gets out of time, you're screwed.
They'll get out of time with a quickness.
Yeah.
And what the cartridge has to go to get from the magazine in the chamber is stupid.
Yeah. RK says, I made a bunch off of it.
Oh, good. Oh, good.
I'm sorry, Sarah. We got off into esoteric on guns. Apologize, lady.
We would never get esoteric on guns. What is she talking about?
In other news, I've picked up a new publisher for my digital books
Yes.
who is going to start applying the Nuge hammer. So the reissue of the Law Dog files.
All right.
And,
Woohoo!
and
Finally, with a cover that we like.
the cover we like, and I'm going to strip out the
Do I need this?
shift
Yeah.
summations and put in, I think, 3 stories that I somehow skipped on the first one.
Yeah. Good.
So there'll be, I feel guilty.
Do I need to send you the badge again?
Which,
The
what's-
Bug Scuffle badge, the
no,
right
I think,
one?
no, I think I got it.
Okay.
But let me check on that. So, depending on the publisher, and I'll make a formal announcement once the contract's been signed by all parties involved.
Yeah.
I'll make, so those that are still wanting a lot of files and didn't want to
Yeah.
buy them from the old publisher, there will be a new publisher that's not quite, doesn't have the baggage the old publisher did.
Josh says, dang it, I'm going to have to buy it again. Yeah.
You don't have to buy it.
But you know you want to.
Jason says, Luger's typical German precision. When you need a fighting pistol, is loose tolerances and durability, it's the Tiger tank of pistols. That's exactly correct.
Germans, bless their pointy little heads.
H&K.
Germans have this mania with precision that in some areas is excellent. In other areas, you can't beat into a German's head that sometimes less precision is better than more.
Yeah.
Case in point, the 88. Great.
Yeah.
But the Tiger tank, not so much.
Well, I was talking to a guy a number of years ago, Army veteran, who was at Montecasino,
Ooh.
World War II. And he was one of the ones that made it across the ridges to Montecasino. And he said the thing that scared him the worst was the 88.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Because what they had done is the Germans had figured out, and I know we're getting into esoteric on guns again.
Mhm.
88 is an 88 millimeter
It was anti-aircraft.
anti-aircraft gun.
Yeah.
Then some German Wehrmacht E4 went, huh?
If I pull this pin, I can lay it all the way down flat, and I can fire a flak round against troops.
Troops or anything else
Troops.
I shoot at.
Oh, and look how high powered this wonderful anti-tank round is.
Yeah. Jesse says, I told a roommate to reread Law Dog files because of shift summation. His boss is now pestering him for it.
The shift summation in the original book was most people didn't like.
Yeah.
And I think there's 3 stories.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to go back and look at my first document. There's 3 stories that somehow didn't make it in there.
I think they got cut.
I don't think that. I don't know, but there's 3 stories that didn't get in there, and I may use recipes to fill out the.
All right. So now get your ass in gear, get it re-edited, and get it back out.
Okay.
If you do that, I'll finish taking care of 10,000 Ways to Die Before 30. AKA,
There's 30,000 ways to die.
true. AKA, how has Autumn not shot John already in his sleep or smothered me to death?
So, for those of you that are, and the publisher has gently nudged if I have anything else, the publisher will be quite happy to take a hack at anything else I want
That
to,
sounds
which kind of like, damn it,
sounds like I need to give this publisher a sharp pointy stick.
it's like, damn it.
Speaking of publishing, a friend of mine sent me a meme over the weekend. Kind of nails publishing in a nutshell.
No kidding.
The meme said, from an editor to an author, with some very, very constructive editing and multiple rewrites, I believe this will be an average American novel. It's like, duh, really? And I'm supposed to like that? Oh, Josh, we'll take care of pestering the publisher. We do that on a routine basis anyway. Josh wants us to pester her to get you to write.
That's okay. She pesters. She does this Jewish mom pestering, which just
Portuguese Jewish mother.
that's all right. Please don't look at me like that. I'll put something in the
Yes.
email.
So, yeah, we'll.
And as was pointed out, if I'm having issues with, say, an entire year's worth of royalties, I can reach this one.
Yeah. Still haven't got that.
Nope.
Uh,
I am short a year in some formats and 18 months in other formats, plus a $500 one-time digital rights use check from folks, and I'm a little annoyed about it.
yeah.
Leave it annoyed.
Yeah, Josh, you're exactly correct.
What do you say?
Yes, Hoyt Publishing Law Dog.
I can't say that. I haven't the contract aren't signed yet.
Well, sign the thing.
I have.
Stick.
The other one hasn't.
Uh,
I need to take care of that, by the way.
A thought before we close out for the day.
Oh no.
Okay.
Oh God.
How long does Kim Jong-un have to be in a vegetative state before he becomes kimchi?
You're on a roll today. Didn't we declare this a no pun zone? I'm
Yes.
pretty sure at some time we declared this a no pun zone.
Also, folks,
Well, like
for
I said, take the bull by the horns.
Retread puns are still puns.
yes, we're going to change up the schedule a little bit going forward for a number of reasons, but we're going to go. Yeah, Josh, somebody will smack him. We're going to go to Tuesdays and Thursdays for the Board Yet seminar.
Oh, is this a seminar now?
Well, that's what
We
some people
We
seem
should
to
be
think.
getting, we should be getting paid seminar fees.
Yeah, because people are apparently taking notes. But we'll do Tuesday at 3 and Thursday at noon. So when you don't see anything next Monday, no, we're not quitting. I'll probably put up a note, say, no, we're not going to do it today. We're going to do it tomorrow.
Yeah, we'll see if Facebook decides to let anybody else see that.
Yeah, well, I'm also putting it up on MeWe.
Okay.
So thank you very much, folks. I appreciate your joining us. Thanks for the comments. Granted, the comments, as always, take us down some rat holes.
Oh. One last thing.
Oh, God.
Apparently, some folks out there have decided it's a challenge to try to break Law Dog. Please don't.
Oh, damn, I forgot all about that. I've got a list.
Yes, I know. I heard. Please don't break Law Dog.
Okay, on Tuesday, we will start trying to break Law Dog again.
No.
Yes, because we need a trip to Vietnam.
Stop.
Well,
16 times. What do you get?
folks, be safe. Have a good weekend.
Stay safe, guys.
Just ignore the bullshit in the media. I mean, that's the only thing we can do. And remember, as always, don't sweat the petty stuff and don't pet the sweaty stuff.
You up?
Bye. And we're done.